Good morning, gentlemen. Today's video is going to be one of my shortest, but I'm hoping one of my most profound to date, and hopefully one that you can take the most value from. Because what I want to talk to you about today is the lessons, or particularly one lesson that I have learned in the last 12 months, having spent time with several multi-millionaires, 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs. And let me give you a little bit of context so you understand where I'm coming from. So in a previous life, I used to be a face-to-face personal trainer, and personal training in London, where I did it, is not cheap. You'd be looking at 70 to 75 pound a session. That's a 45-minute session, by the way, not even a full hour. And it's obviously an expensive luxury, particularly at a time when I was doing it. It was just out the back of COVID. A lot of people were being incredibly conscious of money. So the people who were coming to me were often multi-millionaires. To them, it was a luxury item that they could afford, and they recognized the advantage they had and the benefit of them taking care of their physical health and the knock-on effect that would have on their mental health in a positive way. So I spent a lot of time with 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs there. And then last year, I actually managed to convince an 8-figure serial entrepreneur for me to spend some time with him by writing him an email. So I spent some time with him. And then at the back end of last year, I also paid my way into a mastermind operated by 2 guys who run a multi-7-figure online coaching business. Basically, the objective of the last year, one of my biggest objectives, was to spend more time around guys who are doing the thing or have achieved the thing that I want to achieve. And that's not necessarily a monetary goal. Of course, that would be a nice, it's a nice thing to have, to not have to worry about money, or to be able to have financial freedom or location freedom or time freedom. The big 3 freedoms that everybody seems to be chasing these days. It is obviously a nice thing, but to me, it was more just about understanding. I'm a very inquisitive person. I like to understand what's the difference between me and them. And what I think is that the schooling system, I can only speak for the UK schooling system because, well, I can speak for the Hong Kong schooling system as well, but I was in primary school in Hong Kong, and that's a whole other story. But what I learned from the UK schooling system is that effectively what they're doing at the end of each year, or at the end of, when you do your GCSEs or even A-levels, if you go that far, is they're basically just testing you on memory. They're just seeing how good your memory is. It's not even an intelligence test. It's kind of ridiculous. And then they basically rank people A to F, and a lot of people, when you're young and malleable and you're 16 or 18 years old as a young man, it's very easy, and I certainly did this, to assume the identity of the grade you get. So if you get given a C grade, if you've earned a C grade, you assume the rest of your life is going to be C. It's going to be average. You're told it by the grade, but you also believe it. And so as a result, you start to act like it. You assume the identity of a C grade student, and you take that forward into the rest of your life. And so much of this stuff, by the way, is done at a subconscious level, but that is very true. And I was sort of a middle of the road B grade student. In fact, my A-level results were A, B, C. So yeah, literally like B, basically. Went to a pretty average university, got an average degree, learned absolutely nothing, by the way, at university. And that was it. And then I moved to London and just became the average version of the self that I thought I was going to be for the rest of my life. And then the advent of podcasts came around. And as I'm sure a lot of you guys have, if you're inquisitive enough to watch videos like this, I'm sure you're very into your podcasts. I started listening to a lot of podcasts, and podcasts are insane because you've got multi-millionaires, billionaires, if you want to listen to rich people, or you've got people in the fitness industry who've done these amazing things, or pretty much any industry. You get first-hand access in your ears through your AirPods to people who have been there and done it. And they are literally telling you how they did it, what they did, and everything. And so I got obsessed, and I listened to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of hours of podcasts, because I wanted to spend my time filling my brain with their energy, with their knowledge, and just sort of see what happens. But I realized the next level up from that was spending first-hand time, like in-person time, with the people who had done these things. And that was the game changer, because for me, The biggest realization spending time with these people, spending time with these men, was that they're no smarter than me. It's just that they've got a different mindset. And so the biggest lesson that I learned is that you never chase the goal, you chase the version of yourself who you need to become to achieve the goal. It's as simple as that. Mindset isn't 80%, it's not 90%. Mindset is everything. It is 100%. And the difference between most men and these men is not that they are smarter, it's not that they have more tools. Yes, of course, as they go higher up the pecking order, they have access to more resources and in money basically, and they can leverage other people's time. But when they started, when they were at the same level as you, they had the same things, if not less. The gap was their mindset. They go into things with complete and utter self-belief. They're not even thinking about whether it's possible for them to do it or not. They're not wasting a single molecule of energy, a single calorie of energy on worrying about whether they're going to be able to do it or not. They are just figuring out how they can do it. They don't allow negativity to infiltrate their mind, not a single bit of it. They're incredibly pragmatic. This is a word that I want you to get very familiar with. Pragmatic, pragmatism. If you're not sure what that means, go and Google it. I'm not going to reel off a definition. But it's basically just thinking less and doing more. And you'll have heard that before. Well, that rhymes. But I realized that these men, like I say, they weren't smarter than me. They were just more evolved than me mentally. And it just made me realize, at first it actually made me a little bit angry because I was like, oh, I thought I was going to learn this new bit of knowledge or this secret hack or, all of this stuff. And then I realized that actually it was a good thing because I have everything inside of me already. And so do you, to achieve whatever you want to achieve. And I know that sounds, trust me, if I had heard me say this 5 years ago, I would have literally gone, I'm not going to say it because I found out the other day that YouTube starts, if you swear, they start taking you out of the algorithm. So this is a swear-free channel from now on. But the bridge between now and the goal you want to achieve is literally the time. You can't go into it thinking you won't do it or that you can't do it. You have to just go into it almost with the mindset that you've already done it. And the gap is literally just the time. And you don't want to think about how long it's going to take. Again, that's wasted energy. Just think, it might take a minute, it might take an hour, it might take 10 years. Doesn't matter. If you want to achieve something, sole focus, go into it. And you can apply this to anything. And this is probably the most important bit, by the way. If you want to become a millionaire, don't think like a millionaire. You'll hear this all the time. Act like a millionaire. If you want to get in better shape, don't tell people you want to get in better shape. Act like the person who is in better shape now. Because you can't do the thing and then become the man. You have to become the man now, and then you get to do the thing. Another way you might be able to relate more to this. If you want a promotion at work, let's say you actively decide, right, I want some more money. I want to earn some more money, okay? You will probably quite consciously up your game at work. Maybe you'll turn up a little earlier, maybe you'll stay a little later, maybe you'll be a bit more helpful, maybe you'll take on extra work, whatever it might look like. You are upping your game. In other words, you are acting like the man who has already got that job, who is already operating at that level. And maybe 3 months down the line, maybe 6 months down the line, your boss or whoever it is will come to you and will think, and they will come to you and say, yeah, you've leveled up mentally. And now we're going to give you the plaque. We're going to give you the platform. Here's the title. Here's the extra money. Congratulations. The mistake most people make at that point is they go, oh, it's time to celebrate. Yeah, woo. They take their foot off the gas and then they actually drop back down to the level they were operating at before. The trick is to double down at that point and go even harder, because that's when you can hit an exponential growth curve. And I've fallen for this, by the way, many a time. If you want to be a better husband, a better father, don't sit on a couch and tell your therapist you want to do this. Just go and do it. The difference between these guys and you or me is literally just that they take action. They don't waste a second thinking. They don't waste a second spending time around negativity. They just do. And if they don't have the knowledge, they go and find the knowledge. If they don't have the tools, they go and get the tools. But their mindset is so, whether you want to call it arrogant, whether you want to call it positive, they are doing it. They have done it in their heads. And you have to have that level of self-belief. You have to assume that identity. So if you are sitting there watching this now and you're not in the shape that you want to, I guarantee you could watch no more YouTube videos. You could use all the knowledge that you've already got and you could get a six-pack. You could get in better shape. Fine, you might not be able to get to like a competitive bodybuilder level, but first of all, do you want to? And second of all, that's fine, but that's another level. You've got everything you need now to get to the next level. The only thing that's stopping you is now you, because you are spending more time thinking about the thing than doing the thing. So quite simply, I'm gonna end this video now, turn off YouTube and go and do the thing. That's the biggest lesson, guys. You do not chase the goal, you chase the version of yourself who achieves the goal. I hope that was helpful. Go out there, crush it, kill it, make some money, get in better shape, be the better husband, be the better father. Let's go after it, boys.